How's it going, everybody? It's me, Shane, and I'm here to give you another Digimon Ghost Game episode review and recap. Today's episode is episode 31, known as The Killer Blade. And you know what would be killer if you guys would go ahead and hit that like button. Send me a comment down below so I can know exactly what you think of the episodes and what you think of my style of reviewing. And do not forget to subscribe. I'm trying to get to 1,000 subscribers, and I know that we collectively can get there. As always, don't forget to hit the notification bell, be notified of more videos just like this. Also, share the video if you will. Want other people to see what a grand time we're having. So, I told you guys last week, I know the sweet spot of Digimon Ghost Game. I'm at the point now where, the only thing I kind of compare it to when it comes to other series is the pacing. There's no secret how I feel about going, you know, champion, champion, rookie, ultimate, rookie, champion, ultimate, strong champion, ultimate, three champions, ultimate. It's no surprise at all. Oh my goodness. And you know what I forgot to do, guys? I forgot to pull up the pictures of the Digimon that showed up this episode. So, as I'm explaining what's going on, I'm going to do that right now. So, we start off, and this episode as well is kind of like the last episode. I gave it some points here and there, but there's one vital flaw. We start off with a man that is on a bridge, and he's walking, and all of a sudden, I didn't even pull out these. I didn't pull out these because we've seen these before, but don't worry. Uh, a Goblimon has a blade in his hand, and he keeps saying Kire. Kire means, to cut. Even though they keep alternating between cut and slice, all they're saying is Kire, Kire, Kire. And the guy tries to run. Unfortunately, the Goblimon slashes dude in the back, and he is absorbed into this blade. Now the Goblimon moves on to a Hanuman, also known as Apemon in English in the West. Guy with a bone on his back. We have definitely fought one of those in Digimon Adventure 2020. And so they're battling it out, and he cuts through the bone, and Hanuman's like, "What is this?" And we fade to black. We're in Ruli's room, where Angoramon talks to her about if she's ever been to Senshoji Temple. He's laying on the floor behind her as she's typing. He's reading a thing called Burning Swordsman, and it takes place there. And he's excited about the story. He recites over and over throughout this episode a line about the blue moonlight. I did not bother writing this down because I'm gonna be honest, I just didn't want to write it down. But he says the phrase over and over and over again. And now it's time for him to go. Oops, I scrolled down too far. Now it's time for him to go to one of the nightly meetings. We already know these Digimon meetings that they have all the time. And he's off. She's like, "Be careful. See you when you come back." And everything goes without a hitch, honestly. And as he is Repamon, we know Repamon, the one who fights with his tail that also is sentient in this version of the Digimon universe. He says, "Can I get a ride?" And Gormon hugs onto this thing, and Gormon is a big A Digimon. And flies him, and he says, "Hey, there's been rumors about a Digimon with a blade that is attacking human and Digimon alike indiscriminately." And of course, the tail, blade tail, is just like, "Yeah, I'm gonna beat them even if they step to me." The usual blade tail thing. Of course, much more mellow, still rude, but much more mellow than before, right? Um, where am I at here? So he drops him and he goes and he's leaving now. It's the Hanuman with the blade, and he's standing over a building, and there's a human walking past. And before he can get there, we get Angormon stopping him saying, "Hey, what are you doing over there?" "Hanuman?" Hanuman attacks him saying, "Kide, Kide, Kide." And Angormon's able to dodge and trips him and grabs his hand that has the blade. And all of a sudden, Hanuman is absorbed into this blade. And all of a sudden, the blade is in his hand. And he can hear a voice talking in his head saying, "Kide, cut, slash, go cut humans." And Gormon's trying to let go of it. But he can't open his hand or let go of this blade. And then he sees the visions. He sees Goblimon fighting with it, then he sees the fight with Apemon, and he sees that Goblimon stopped. Apemon grabbed his hand, and the blade was transferred to him after it absorbed Goblimon, aka Goblimon. And he just sees all of this, and he's fighting it off. He's saying, telling him to get out of his head, and he's roaring out. We can see his eyes. We don't always get to see his eyes. And he doesn't want to go back home. He doesn't want anything to happen to Ruli, and Ruli is now worried because and she's worried, and he's trying to slash it off. He's like at an underpass or something. He's trying to get it off, and this thing's talking to him, telling him he, you know, he wants him to cut humans. Why do you want me to cut humans? Because I want to shine radiantly. He's like, do you mean to sharpen yourself? And that's exactly what this blade is saying. And I'm kind of surprised it took me a while to actually realize what Digimon this was. But don't worry, we'll get to that in a moment. Because for a while, it just honestly seems like a haunted blade, haunted katana. So now, he's still fighting against this. And Ruli talks to the crew saying that Gormon didn't come back home. Cutie Gamamon wondering, hey, maybe he went camping. And she like, he would tell me though. Like, he would honestly say, I'm going camping. And you get Kirishiro going, hey, Jellymon, she goes out for days at a time. You know, I don't mind it. I like my space. And then here comes Jellymon in her jellyfish form, hugging on to him, saying, darling. And he's like, oh, I didn't know you were here. We get some humor here and there, right? But I guess they're just trying to, they're trying to wait and see because maybe he's gonna come back later. Where am I at here? At the same time, I'm glad I put this in my notes. It's not really good that Jellymon goes out for days at a time because if something actually happens to her, you won't know because she goes out for days at a time. Yeah, even the thunder outside agrees with me. So, right here goes the days at a time. So at night, he's flying behind a human. Oh no, it looks like our boy Angoramon's about to take a human soul. And he pulls up at the last minute. He's like, nah, nope, not doing this. And he's fighting the urge. And he's saying he's not going to lose. And in the shadows, we see a very familiar Digimon. A Digimon that showed up for the 20th anniversary of Digimon. For those who are hardcore fans, you know. I think I've actually raised one of these. Wow, that was good. I raised one of these in the American version of the 20th anniversaries. But don't worry, I'll show you who it is in a minute. So, the blade, because he's getting weaker and weaker. He's like, it's sapping my strength. So this is what it did to the other Digimon. And he says, your life will be saved if you cut a human. And he says he's not going to. And the voice in the blade says, fine, I have other means. Ruli spends the whole day just looking and waiting, and still he doesn't come back. And now we're at night, and we're at the shrine that Repamon stays at that bamboo forest. And Repamon, both head and tail, pop up. And he's like, you feel that? Yeah. It's deep malice. And out of the bamboos is Angoramon with that blade. And they're like, Angoramon, they do their spinning tail blade attack. They clash. Angoramon says, I'm sorry, Repamon, and flies off. And they both can sense what's going on. And on that bladed tail, they chipped off a piece of it. That tail is usually pretty dang hard and pretty dang durable. So for them to just break a piece off of it is ridiculous. Ruli talks to the crew again. It has been 2 days now with no contact. And she's starting to worry. And Hero is like, yeah, that's pretty worrying now. And Gamamon just wants to go camping because he's thinking that Angoramon has gone camping. It's pretty adorable again. He wants to go camping with Hero again. And Kirishiro says, well, last place he went was to the meeting, right? She should look there. Jellymon is kind of there, and she asks Jellymon if she could do it, and Jellymon's like, there's nothing I can't do. And she even gets to the point of calling her Jellymon Sama when thanking her. That is the appropriate way of doing it. Kirishiro. Come on, man. Anyway, she goes and then she remembers, oh, wait, there's no meeting today. And Repamon's back there. And it's so easy to tell whether the head or the tail are talking because the tail is very abrasive, saying, hey, you, who are you? And Jellymon's like, that is not how you do introductions. I got to talk to you. I like, you know, one funny thing about jump cuts is they waste no time. They're good and they're bad. But I feel like at my age now, I like them more just because, just because they go straight to the point. But at the same time, there are people out there who don't really pay attention, even when you're watching anime. Like, there are people who like dub anime because they're watching it or doing other things, but you're not technically watching it, so you're going to miss some stuff. So, jump cuts are good and bad because if a person's not paying attention, they're like, wait, what happened? With jump cut, Reprimand is with everybody, telling them what they saw. It's like, yeah, it was Angoramon. And Ruli's like, no, he wouldn't do this. Not my boy, right? And the funny part is, back when they clashed, the Blade was taunting Angoramon, saying, you can't even trade me off to another Digimon, huh? He's like, I'm not going to do it. All right, then cut humans, and then you won't be hurt. No, I ain't going to do it. Oh, you're going to be my limbs, my arms and legs forever. So, where Kirishiro tells Ruli that she needs to calm down. But meanwhile, while they're having this conversation, Angoramon is trying to fight it off, but he roars out and his eyes glaze over white. He's saying Kide now. He's done all he could. Surviving for the one thing I will give Angoramon credit, because I'm gonna come down hard on him at the end of this episode. He has strong willpower, and I like that. Even though his ultimate form is beastly. You probably wonder why I mentioned his ultimate form. Don't worry. I'm gonna get to that. So they're gonna try to go find him. She thinks she knows where he could be. They all split up. Hero and Gamamon don't find him. Kirishiro and Jellymon, they go to the library. He's not there either. And Repamon goes and asks Floramon. You know, Floramon helps with the tea and the gatherings. Hadn't seen the guy. Where'd they go? Oh, they were at that bridge. You know, the famous bridge where all the animes and Shinjuku and Shibuya and that famous bridge. You know the bridge. Y'all know the bridge. So they can't find him. And then Ruli thinks about the story he was telling her about the in Shinjo Temple. She's like, give these kids credit. They're smarter than your average anime kids because they go, ha, I know where they are. I know where this person might be. A telephone. Hey guys, meet me here. She gets there, and he's up top of the temple with the blade, and she's like, "Hey, Gorm, I've been looking for you." He turns like, Kide. Her fears have been realized, I guess. Dang, I messed up that dramatic speak. She knows it's him. And he's coming down to cut her, but then here's Hero and Gamamon. Toss Gamamon, who turns into Kaos Gamamon, swoop and grab her just in the nick of time. And this is getting really close, and Kirishiro comes up with Jellymon, Digivolution into Tesla Jellymon. She tries to use her tentacles to hold him off, and you can see it looks like he's sapping a little bit of her life while she's holding his arm. And she's like, this is crazy. He's super strong. Kaos Gamamon comes in, tries to hit him, and he nicks him just a little bit and drains his energy. And Kaos Gamamon glides towards Hero, turns back into Gamamon, and all of a sudden, the cursed blade, which we now know is Shiramoru. I don't think I wrote that down correctly. And it turns out to be a Digimon that I know fairly well, and I give you guys credit for stumping me. Digimon, I give you credit for stumping me. It is Mushamon. Or should I say Musamon? Whichever way you want to pronounce it. Another picture? Badow. What about another picture? A Badow. I look forward to the day when this can pop up without you seeing my phone. So, who is Musamon? Guys, this is a champion level Digimon. Ooh, yeah. Yeah, a virus demon man As a matter of fact, showed up in Digimon Adventure Season 2, '02. Appeared in Japan, but went back to the digital world because of Shurimon. I wish that fight would have been longer. It was in Digimon Tamers, was in Digimon Frontier, Cross Wars, Adventure 2020 reboot, and now, of course, it is in Ghost Game. And Adventure 2020 served under Zanbamon in the past. That's the episode when Gabumon turns into Crest Garurumon. I love the alternate evolutions that like 2020 did it, and then this show kind of rode on the backs of that. I hope whatever series comes next, every single, and we hope we get more than just three tamers. I hope all three, four, five characters. I hope their Digimon get multiple same style evolutions. But anywho, let's read a little bit about this gang. Originally, it was a data of a samurai master from an overseas video game that got infected by the computer virus and evolved to become the armored warrior Digimon. Its countless battles with Digimon have reduced it to its appearance to a ruthless Ochimusha, which is like Onimusha. But this can also be proof of this Digimon terrifying combat ability and vitality. Mushamon is the very image of a savage warrior who continues to live through his endless battles. The demon sword it wields in his right hand, Shiratori Maru, there we go, is engraved with a forbidden curse that causes it to steal the life force of any opponent it cuts. They're using the encyclopedia way more between Adventure 2020 and Digimon Ghost Game. Uh, and it's said to grow sharper for every 1,000 Digimon it slays. Jeez. The special move it performs using its Shitai Korimaru is Kirutsuke Gilman. It is considered one day. Oh wow! It is considering one day to issue a challenge to Leomon to have a decisive battle with it and its cherished sword, Shishiomaru. I would love to see another Digimon did the Digimon X movie series with the X antibodies, where it was just the Digimon. And of course, we got Digimon Savers that then incorporated that storyline a little bit into this, with Yggdrasil being the big bad. I sincerely would like a Digimon only series where it's like, oh yeah, this here's Leomon coming through. Leomon it has a rivalry. Ogremon has a rivalry with Mushamon. That would be pretty dang cool. Just my opinion though. So in the shadows, there's still this other golden wink wink Digimon that's hanging out there. And apparently Musamon was fused to its blade. And this is how Angoramon knew it from the beginning because he could see while he was holding the blade. When they came through the digital gate, they fused together. And what Musamon wanted was to get his cursed blade sharper by cutting humans and then use enslaved Digimon to fulfill his wants and eventually get his body back. But Gamamon's mysterious power allowed him to regenerate quickly. And so we have So we have this Digimon that I named in my notes because I knew who it was instantly. It is Zubamon, the 20th anniversary rookie level Digimon. I have an issue, guys. Every time they come out with a Digimon like this, that's like a specialty for like the anniversaries. I end up loving it because there's another Digimon coming out with this Ludamon. Look at that. He turns into a blade, which he does in this episode. And here's his various evolutions, all in Digimon Cyber Sleuth. Look at that. Champion Ultimate Mega. Let's read about this cool. He's one of the Legend Arms, who are capable of transforming themselves into weapons. A legend about the Legend Arms goes, if held by an angel, it will save the world, and if held by a demon, it will destroy the world. Zubamon carries the 20th data and often shouts, I am the 20th, despite not understanding what that means. He's a, remember, rookie weapon vaccine Digimon. It despises crookedness and is constantly seeking sharpness. A day where its battles, jokes, and sharpness turn out well will leave it in high spirits. Although it has a technique, 20 dive, in which it charges head first, Zubamon's power is exhibited, true power is exhibited when he's used as a weapon. This guy's first animated appearance is here. This Digimon has been around for a while. When Digimon had the 20th anniversary a little while back, first game was Cyber Sleuth, Digimon Lynx. He's been around for a while, and I love this Digimon. I genuinely love this Digimon. Uh, it has it's legend art. It has its mega form fuses with Ludamon's mega form to make Ragna Lordmon, who is one of the biggest Digimon ever. Not the biggest, that belongs to Grace Lordmon, but one of the most massive Digimon you've ever seen. Fantastic Digimon, honestly. Um, yeah. So, Zubamon shows up, and Zubamon's still there. And what's his name? Musamon wants to absorb Gamamon. So he comes towards him, and Goramon won't let him do it. He is highly upset about him not only using Digimon, attacking humans, and making him attack Ruli. And Ruli's like, hey, it's okay. He's like, nah, I'm never going to stop saying this. I'm going to protect you. Digivolves into Simba and Goramon, goes to fight him, but dude is just too good. Like, his land riser kicks blocked by the blade, his wind attack is cut in half by the blade, and when they're fighting on top of the roof, you know, Simba and Goramon catches the blade, but she's telling him, hey, it's futile. And this is when Zubamon comes in with a kick. And apparently the scar, I'm going to show you guys this if I didn't mess up. The scar on Zubamon's face apparently came from Musamon. They've had battles before, and apparently Musamon has won said battles. But he's saying, you know what, you've done a lot of messed up stuff. He asked Sembia and Goramon to help him. So he turns into a blade. He holds on to him, and he says the chant, the blue moon thing that he's been saying this whole entire episode that revolved around this book he's been reading. And they do the classic jump. It's not even a full moon. It's like a semi-crescent moon. They do the slash. They part back to back. The tip of Musamon's blade is broken, and it disintegrates, freeing all of the human souls. I think those Digimon are just gone. So it's probably kind of like Digimon to Digimon. What's it? Tamers? Is it Tamers? Yeah, Digimon Tamers. Digimon Season 3. That's what I'm trying to say. It's like Digimon Season 3 when you absorb them into you, they don't come back. I think that's exactly what happened here. And that's kind of a bum deal for Apemon and Gobblemon. And so Zabumon turns Zubamon, sorry, not Zabu. Zubamon turns back into his two-legged self, and Musamon's telling him finish him. He's like, nah, I got my revenge. I'm good here. Thanks Simba and Goramon for helping him. Simba and Goramon's like, no, thank you. And he goes off, and Hero's like, who is that Digimon? And Gamamon's like, he's so cool. You should think he's cool. He is literally one of your senpais. Where am I at? So Ruli wonders why he didn't call, and he goes, I didn't want to get anybody in danger. And she kind of makes a face, and he says, you know what, I'm sorry. Even though I get why you said you're sorry because you feel bad that you made her worry, but you made the right call. Although he could have shown up and said, hey, I'm having a hard time controlling this. Because you were in control for a good 2 days, so toss up, right? Uh, and then out of the blue, legitimately, out of the blue, Blacktailmon is right in front of Hero. Like, they're looking here, then Hero looks down, here's Blacktailmon with the hoodie, baby. Hands him a letter, and he grabs onto Musamon and starts leading him somewhere. And they're all like, "Oh yeah, you sent your dad a letter from that time before. What did you ask him?" He asked him how can he, what do they do to handle Digimon that are too hard for them to handle, right? What do they do with Digimon that are too hard for them to handle? And his father had to write on leaves. Says, "I don't know. Good luck." Deadbeat dad. I gotta make a video about this because everybody says Goku's a bad dad. No, Ging Freesis, who was a follower of Gong Freesis from Hunter x Hunter, is the worst dad. And it looks like Hero's dad is trying to run up and be just as bad. Wow, this is Reed Richards' level of abandonment. If you know, you know. Anyway, Angoramon's saying is, tomorrow comes tomorrow's breeze. If there's no wind, que sera sera. It says sera very well. If there's no wind, que sera sera, the calm is also welcome. I thought he stopped at the second line, and I was going to go off of like, that makes no sense, but no, this makes sense. So, next time is going to be Doppler Gamamon. I, yeah, I hope Gamamon does not freak out and go dark, but I hope he does fix whatever's going on. So I'm inclined to give this a 3.5 out of 5 because of Blacktailmon and Zabumon. And Gormon, for being the most, and I say most, I'm going to use air quotes here, most knowledgeable Digimon, kind of sucks, right? Like, everybody else got their ultimate forms before him. Everybody else got their champion forms before. I don't even know what was the catalyst for him to get his champion form. I know Gamamon was like, hey, I need to be able to fight. Red punchy form, I need to fly. Blue flying form, I need to be able to shoot very heavily. Tank Panzer Triceratops thing. Oh no, something bad happened and a guy I like died. Dark form. I remember Tesla Jellymon because they had an actual fight that was really good. Don't remember how we got Samba and Goramon, if I'm going to be honest with you. And the crazy thing is, the fight with Digitamamon would have been a good point for him to have his ultimate form. I mean, that was a personal connection. The whole trying to turn Ruli into a doll thing, that would have been good too. He just seems really, really inept at this point, right? Like, is his lesson to turn into his ultimate form going to be, hey, you need to stop with the whole Bruce Banner thing and turn into the Hulk? Because his ultimate form looks very much like a big, weird beast thing. Yeah. I'm kind of surprised that's where they chose to go with that form. Which is why I went with the Mario shirt, because of, things that Mario equips. Today they had to equip a sword. You see? Yeah, yeah. But yeah, this is one of those. Again, I understand the baseline of Digimon Ghost game now after 30 plus episodes. I get it. This is kind of online with the last episode. Not terrible. Average. It's watchable. Like, I enjoyed being stumped. I enjoy that the actual thing that you do with Digimon you can't handle, Black Tailmon's going to take them away. What does Black Tailmon do with them? I hope it's turned them into digital dust. At least the ones that deserve it. Like Splashmon, this dumb Musamon. Whatever happened to Sistermon Seal? My goodness, they effed up that Digimon badly. And the evil Phanto Reapermon, that thing needs to go. Just, I need to know what happens to these Digimon. Eventually, I'm going to guess by episode 45. By 45, they will go to the actual digital world, not just the Upside Down, which I didn't mention. Kirishiro double-clicked to get them away from the temple, the real temple, so things wouldn't get damaged. Also, the opening now has different Digimon when they're talking about the hologram ghost. So, I noticed. 3.5 out of 5 for me. 3.5. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comment section down below. Again, wasn't terrible. This is their average, but showing that Zabumon. Zabu. It's not Zabu. Zubamon. Zuba also means, it's also the onomatopoeia for cut. I know this because I play Yu-Gi-Oh! And there's a archetype called Zubaba. Onomatopoeias. Anyway, don't forget to leave a comment, hit that like button, smash the subscribe button, and as well hit the notification bell to be notified of more videos just like this. Thank you for taking some time out to spend some time with me. Don't forget to share the video. Please be good, be blessed, wash your hands, wear a mask, drink orange juice if you're feeling sick or got a raspy throat. Be good to yourself, be good to others. Either way it goes, please don't be a jerk, and I will most definitely see you guys next time. Remember, even when things seem bleak, there will always be light at the end of the tunnel, and the sun will always shine tomorrow.